So hello, welcome to Sjcartier Ltd Convos, and today we will be talking about the positives and negatives from buying at charity shops. So to start off with, first of all, the positives for buying at charity shops is first of all you're supporting a charity, the obvious one. You're actually getting to support something of a good cause. So whether you know what this good cause is at that moment in time or not, you are actually supporting a good cause. Whether you believe that is the money that you spend in there is supporting a good cause, or the fact that anything that you donate in there actually can be sold for money to actually support a good cause, whether that be cats and dogs, whether that be kids, whether that be abused adults, whether that be drunk and drugs and misuse, whatever that may be. Um, there's a charity shop for all types of help in the local communities and also worldwide. So any money that you do spend in the charity shops is going to a good cause. And for me at that time, I thought that is a very positive thing for me as a Muslim. We try to give as much charity, even if it is just a smile. We have to give the minimum charity. So even though I may actually have went in there to actually find items, obviously to resell to make a profit, I also had the instinct that when I am spending any money in here, I am actually giving to a charity. So yeah, it's always a positive thing. I feel like the second positive for me is it's the motto of unwanted to wanted as well. So a lot of times people do give to charity shops some things that they think the charity shops can make, but also they give things that they actually don't want and don't want to sell or resell, or can't don't have another child or brother or father or someone to give this to, so they'd rather just give it to the charity shop. So the fact of my business, I started it up because I wanted to find items that people may not want at this moment in time or are unwanted gifts, and collect them myself and possibly rehome them with people that would love these for years on. And whether or not it's sold in the first year or in 10, 15 years, there may be someone that actually likes this item in 10, 15 years and has a childhood memory, and I have actually kept care of it, looked after it and collected it, and I am like that go between for the future, I'd say. So in 10, 15 years, when people were all thinking about, I don't know, let's say Yamal, um, it's like everyone's thinking about Lamine Yamal now. Everybody 15 years ago was talking about Messi, but it's only 10, 15 years now later that people really realised how much they love Messi. It could be with Pokemon cards. Everybody never realised how much they loved Pikachu until they got older and they really loved Pikachu. Like for me, it's now me getting back into antiques and collectibles and Roald Dalton and collecting comic books as well, and collecting music genres. So for me, there's a lot of people that fell out of love with certain of their collectibles that they were collecting that they may have given away. And I found it quite fun to actually find these unwanted gifts, support a charity, and actually rehome them with somebody that would love them and take care of them as I have until they are brought it. And it's also a fun hunt. So for me, as I say, I don't drive. So I have to travel to charity shops on the train, far distances, walk off the train station for sometimes 30 minutes, 45 minutes to find one, two charity shops, have a gander, and never know what I can find. So it was a fun hunt because I do like to travel, and as I am a person that now don't drive or is in a car, I love to travel on the train anyway. So I've enjoyed travelling on the train, finding charity shops, having to get there, having a look, seeing if there's anything in there I like that catches the eye, and just enjoying a new location possibly, let's say. Um, so some of the negatives I say for charity shops are you actually have to travel to these charity shops, and as I say, sometimes I've had to jump on a train and travel for an hour on the train, an hour and a half, jump on another train, Then I'd get off the train, I'd have to walk half an hour, 45 minutes to this charity shop. And this is me not knowing what I could find in this charity shop. This could be a charity shop that has a variety of restocked stuff. It could be a charity shop that actually isn't well looked after or maintained. It could be a charity shop with a load of golden finds. You just never know what you could find. So yeah, it was always a stress to actually travel to these sometimes for me, I'd say, because I don't drive. So yeah, the travel, pardon me, Alhamdulillah, was a bit too difficult, I'd say. I will say though, because as I say, some of these positive and negatives may not reflect to you. So if you do have a car, you may find it easier to get to a lot of these charity shops. But then I will also say, whereas I will walk and carry a lot of things on my back, sometimes spending the petrol to go to this charity shop to actually find that there's nothing there may be a lot more money consuming, although you save time by being able to go to 10 charity shops. You just may end up spending more money going to these 10 charity shops or 10 cities even. So yeah, there's the flip side of positives and negatives with this. The negatives also, I found, was charity shops started becoming like resellings. So the fact I stopped going regularly to charity shops was, as I realized I started going to a lot more charity shops, the prices were getting more per se. At the time I was selling on eBay a lot as well, so I would say the prices were going for the price as eBay. And when I have to consider packaging costs, the fact that I have traveled here, the fact that I obviously ship this item and have to get it to the customer, it just wasn't cost effective. And it wasn't like you could go in a charity shop and say, you know what, I will spend 50, 40 quid on a variety of items today. It was more getting down to, you'd be lucky to find an item for 40, 20 quid that is worthwhile selling for 40, 50 quid. So yeah, I found out like they became a lot more resellable and started checking a lot of more prices. So you had to be a lot more savvy with what you brought and where you brought it. I will also say, with regards to charity shops, a negative I found was, you do find, as I'm talking from a reselling point, you will find that when you start going to a variety of charity shops, certain things are all in every charity shop. So although you may be able to find one for cheap here, you may not be able to find one for cheap over there. So the prices did vary depending on where you are. So if you're in a rural location, you may find the prices are different to whether you are in a beach, by a beach, or in a city, which means it depends on where you live, dependent on whether the charity shops have the variety of items you need or for the price you are looking. Also, for yourself, you can find a lot of items yourself, but also it comes down to then the condition you find these in. And if it's just for yourself, there's always something you may find for yourself, depending on what you're looking for. Another negative I will say is the condition of some of these items. As I say, some charity shops are well looked after and maintained, and some are not. The ones that are not, you will find some of the conditions of items that may have been in quite a nice condition when they first arrived there are now actually not in that condition they arrived and are not well maintained. So sometimes the condition can vary from what you are finding. I will say with charity shops, as I say, there was a big instinct and positive to actually supporting a charity. So as long as you made a little something from each charity shop, in my mindset, was okay. As I say, you're just supporting the charity, so profit wasn't always the main thing. So the negative to charity shops, I say, the squeeze was actually a little bit more tighter than, let's say, the auctions that I spoke about in my first video. So yeah, the squeeze and profit margins, if you are a reseller in charity shops, is a lot more tighter, unless you are thinking to buy in major bulk via a day than via a bulk from a charity shop and say, yeah, I can make a profit from this one. So to round up today with the charity shops, The positives are you are supporting a charity. Of course, that's the most positive thing about the charity shops. Second, you are finding unwanted goods that people may have given to charity shops, and also it's quite fun to just travel to different towns and cities and variety of location. You find charity shops on motorways, well, not motorways, but on long roads that have no car. You can only drive down basically. I've walked down some. So yeah, it's quite a fun hunt. Negatives, you have to travel to them. Some of them are in some of the worst locations. Some of them are in towns. Some of them aren't. A lot of the prices are come like resellable prices, so they aren't good for resellers. They are just prices as if they brought to resell. The condition is not always up to scratch, although you can find brand new items and items in top notch condition, as well as it is in your face, so you actually get to see the item condition and the tight profit margins if you are a reseller. So yeah, those are the positives and negatives of a charity shop, and I hope you enjoyed that with SJ Cartier Limited Convos today.